Hey everybody, how's it going? My name's Zain Pyarali here with Andrew Hussey for Terry Hutchins' Advanced Sports Writing class. We are here at Assembly Hall. Indiana just wrapped up their first home game of the season against Umass Lowell, coming out victorious 100-78. Second straight game over 100 points after defeating Kansas in the season opener in Honolulu, Hawaii, 103-99 in overtime. James Blackman had another big night, 23 points to his credit after scoring 26 in Honolulu. And just overall, the team looked fairly, decent for the most part. At the beginning of the game, what was your thoughts? At the beginning of the game, Indiana was, they were tied with Umass Lowell 18-18 with about 10 minutes left to go in the first half. I think is that one thing you kind of expected Indiana to start out slow after coming off, the big win against Kansas?
Yeah, I definitely thought you're coming back from Kansas. That's a really long plane trip. I think Tom Crean said it was 5 time zones away, so anytime you're back here with your legs, you're trying to get into the game. And it kind of took a while for the Hoosiers offensively to get rolling. Their defense wasn't as strong as it had been in the exhibition games early. Kind of took them a while to kind of lock in on the shooters because UMass was getting some wide open shots from a lot of their shooters. Tyler Livingston, I think he had 14 points in the first half, or 12 points in the first half, and 2 points the rest of the game. So, he got going early, and they really, once they kind of locked in on defense, everything started to flow from that.
Yeah, I agree. As soon as Indiana started to lock down and get stops on defense, everything turned. And a main factor of that was James Blackman shooting the ball, 23 points, had 20 points in the first half. But it was also his effort on defense. And we've heard Tom Crean talk about the level of maturity he stepped up to this year and everything that he's done to get better at his game. And I think we really saw it tonight, him making stops and then that leading to him hitting the big shots. He didn't miss a shot. He took a beat. He hit 5 points early on in the first half, took a breather, came back with about 10 minutes left to go. The game was tied, and he didn't miss a shot the final 10 minutes. Indiana went on a 35-18 run to end the half, and that was really the big key for me looking at this win and how it got done. What about you?
Yeah, you looked at James. I think he hit 1 3 and he just walked back, no emotions, because he expects to hit these threes. Right. He's playing so well, and I think that's kind of infectious for the offense because he opens up so much space when he's shooting that well. And I think Rob Johnson talked about it in the press conference. It kind of, this confidence is building within the offense when James hits well, and it kind of makes everyone else get hot, and that's what happened there in that run in the first half. And then the beginning of the second half, they went on another run, which I think Tom Crean talked about it. It was all about getting post touches. They went early in the first half. You kind of noticed it. They weren't going to Thomas a lot. They weren't feeding the paint whatsoever. And once they did that, everything kind of went from there. Once they did that, they never, like Tom was talking about how they don't want to just take bad shots, but they want to go through the paint and then get a three. Threes aren't necessarily bad, but once you get through the paint, and that's what they did late in the first half and early in the second half.
Yeah, one thing to touch on there, Thomas Bryant, I think it took it until about 6 minutes left to go in the first half where he finally scored his first bucket. Mm-hmm. He was held scoreless, and at that point he was 0 for 1 on a shooting, and that one shot was a three-pointer. I don't think that you want to see Thomas Bryant wait that long to get inside and getting those touches through the paint. I think Coach Crean said that Indiana had 15 straight possessions where they got the ball through the paint and then ended up making a basket off of that. So that was really key for them, and getting those big guys as a part of the offense as they possibly can is extremely huge. And talking about another big guy, OG Anunoby had another standout performance tonight. Finished with 15 points, 7-11 from the field. But one thing I like that he was driving to the basket. He was creating havoc on offense. We saw him only take three-pointers against Kansas. That's not his game. And I really like the way that he was playing tonight. What did you think of OG?
Yeah, he definitely was attacking a lot more, getting into the paint, and he was the same self on defense. He was terrific on defense once again. He was always getting the passing lanes. I think that's what he does best, getting those passing lanes, and that's what the Hoosiers did really well. Late in that second half, they would get in the passing lanes, good in transition, and kind of get their offense rolling through that. And that's when they looked best. They really were running in that transition. You saw Devontae Green get maybe 2 straight steals and dunk it on those. So, that was another thing, their depth. What did you see from the depth?
The depth, I thought, was, it was all around. Anytime someone came in off the bench, Indiana did not skip a beat, and I think that's huge. The biggest part of this team coming off the bench, I think, is Juwan Morgan. He is the ultimate sixth man, and it's really incredible to see how far he's come Especially I think people forget about the shoulder surgery he went through. He hasn't been playing live. He's only been playing live basketball for the past 3 weeks or so, and he looks incredible out there. He said in the post game press conference that he wants to know how to play every position out there, and he did tonight. He was in there and he was playing the 4, but then he brought the ball up just simply like he's the point guard, and having versatile guys that can bring up the ball and not really having that one true point guard. Tom Crean says it a lot. They play positionless basketball, and I think Juwan Morgan is a great example of that, using his size and everything that he can get to create offense and force turnovers too. But one thing I want to ask you about, Juwan was the first one tapped with it, and it was a technical foul after he's hanging on the rim, supposedly. What did you see on that? And then more technical fouls to come through later in the game.
Yeah, it was just a very dubious call. I mean, we were trying to come down for them. I really didn't see anything that would warrant a technical. Maybe slap the backboard a little, but I didn't really see that. No. So, I mean, and then Thomas had that little scuffle there. He kind of stepped over the guy, which that's never good.
Yeah, Thomas doing his best AI impression right there. But, it was really a lot. It was incredible to see all around. Indiana had a great performance really all around, depth-wise. A lot of positives to take away from this. What's the main thing that you took away from this victory tonight?
I really think it's James Blackman Jr. I mean, you lost Yogi Ferrell, and you saw what James Blackman Jr. was capable of in Kansas, but to see him carry this over into the first half against Umass Lowell, it was really impressive. I mean, he can be the number one guy for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, and whenever he's the number one guy and he's really shooting the rock well, Indiana's just a well-oiled machine all around. It opens up back cuts and new passing lanes and getting the ball down low, and you really have to respect James Blackman for everything that he can do and everything this Indiana Hoosiers team can do, coming out here at Assembly Hall, winning their first home game of the season, improving that home win streak to 18 games now, see if they can back up another 17-0 regular season like they did at home last year. So this has been our recap of Indiana and UMass Lowell. I'm Zain Pyarali. That's Andrew Hussey for Terry Hutchins Sports Class. Thanks for watching.